Greetings, Bat Family, and welcome back to Holy BatCast, brought to you by real fans for real movies. You can find us all over social media on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for Holy BatCast, you'll find us. And if you're a big fan of the show and you want to support us, you can do that on Patreon. No pressure, it's all good, but big thank you to our patrons. You guys are awesome. We really do appreciate the support. It just helps things so much, makes it so much easier. So if you're interested in that, you can go to patreon.com/holybatcast. We are part of the Real Fans Podcast Network. You can check out those shows at rf4rm.com. And as always, I'm your Bat host, Andy DiGenova. I'm back, and you can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, and Letterboxd. It's just my name, Andy DiGenova. It has been over a month, so I hope you guys have been doing well. Hope y'all are, had a good January. January sucks, so I hope y'all got through it okay. Just recently, I was listening to our dear friends Michael and Scott on the From Pencils to Pixels, and they called January the Monday of months, and boy, is that true. So anyway, it's been over a month, or just about a month, and it's exciting to be back. And what we're going to be doing, since we've been gone a little while, we're going to be catching up on what's been happening in the DC sphere over the past month or so. Just talk about news, catch up on what's been happening. A couple big things, quite a few small things, but still all worth chatting about. And you're not going to believe this. I know. We are going to review an episode of The Batman. I know. I don't believe it either. I don't either. Maybe that's a New Year's resolution. It's not an official one, but I should make it one, is that we should actually finish the series of The Batman. And as always, we've got some emails because don't we always? It's great to hear from you guys. So it's going to be great. And joining me for all this fun, it's the birthday boy. Happy birthday, Buster. It's Brendan Lowe.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah. Happy birthday, little guy.
How would Frosty say it?
Happy birthday.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, thank you for carving out time. I think it's actually your birthday eve as we're chatting.
Yeah, okay. Birthday tomorrow as we have this chat.
All right. I think by the time this comes out, your birthday will have been passed. It'll be old news.
Probably.
But for anyone listening who wants to wish a happy birthday to Brendan, go find him wherever you find him. I don't even know anymore.
Lurking outside Andy's window.
Yeah, that's where I find you, but I don't know where anyone else can find you. I find you by taking a little piece of tape off of my webcam, and you're always there watching. But no, happy birthday. Any big plans?
Thank you. Not really. Going to a toy, I guess it's sort of a toy shop, but like warehouse thing that only opens on Sundays with a friend of mine tomorrow morning, and then just having a quiet one at home tomorrow afternoon with Jess and Henry, because Jess is extremely pregnant, and it's smack, it's not the middle, it's sort of getting towards the end actually, but in sort of summer, so she's doing well but struggling with the heat and everything, and just third trimester fun, but just doing things nice and easy.
Good. I was gonna say, your last birthday as a father of one. Enjoy this quiet time, Brendan.
Henry started school this week, which was a huge milestone in our house as well. So it's like one big thing, and he's just going to get into that routine, and then everything's going to be flipped on its head and turned inside out when
then you get to do it all over again.
Yeah. Actually, I hadn't told you this. It was just, via text. It's probably a bit, but Jess had a midwife appointment the other day, and they did the ultrasound, and I couldn't go because I was working, but Jess could see her little face, and she was sucking her thumb, which was super cute because Henry's never been a thumb sucker. She saw that, but then the part that was funny, and this is obviously, that she's mine and obviously Jess's, the midwife was sort of like sort of holding the baby up in Jess's tummy, like sort of trying to get length and measurements and stuff like that. And it obviously upset her, because as soon as the nurse moved her hand away, Jess said she lashed out with this kick that was just like, off and leave me alone. A huge FU to the poor midwife. And it's like, yep, she's our daughter. She's already moody.
I thought you were going to say she flipped off the ultrasound, which
No.
happens as well.
But no, she this big aggressive kick, just saying, "Will you fuck off and leave me alone?
Leave me alone." Awesome. Well, it's exciting times. I can't wait to hear more. Are people saying she's going to come early? Because we got a lot of that with baby Andy.
Not really. Because like Henry was a week early, but Jess had to be induced. But the thing that sort of freaked us out is one of my brother's really good friends, actually, they got pregnant around the same time, and they were about 4 or 5 weeks ahead of us.
Mm.
And their little one came 3 weeks early. So when that happened, it was a reality check for Jess and I. We sort of looked at each other and we were like, oh shit, we still have so much to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, it's funny. Like, I don't know what you were like, but sorry to have dad chat, everyone. We'll get to Batman. But yeah, I'm more nervous this time, weirdly enough, than I ever was with Henry.
I get that though. And I get it.
Kind of like I get the whole like, yeah, we're gonna have two, but I don't like, it's not even that. I don't know. Like, I think just because it was my only focus last time, like I didn't have to worry about another child, but like I said, like that's part of it, but it's not all of it, but I can't really explain the rest of it. But yeah, I'm more nervous this time.
No, I get it. I started getting really nervous too, because my big thing was I was like, it's just been long enough. I forgot how to deal with a newborn. I forgot that routine.
Yeah.
And so I had that of like, oh God, I got to relearn it. And you do, it's fine. But yeah, that there also becomes the juggling of both. So you'll be fine. It's all going to work out. It has to, but yeah, it is a lot with both, you know?
Yeah.
It's going to be great. I can't wait for you.
Great.
It'll be awesome. I can't wait. All right. Well, let's get to Batman. People are like, okay, dads, we get it. You love your kids. I don't care. I want to talk about a fictional billionaire who dresses up like a bat. And maybe Superman. So I did go in and I was like, well, there were a couple big things that I immediately thought like, oh, like there's some big things that are worth talking about. So let me dig in, see what else is out there. And I actually found quite a bit of things to discuss that were worth chatting about. Some very Batman specific, which is nice because if you look back at our year end, there wasn't much Batman happening last year. But you know, things are starting, I think, happen around the bat sphere, which is good. But yeah, pull the big list and we'll chat through some of the things that have happened over the past month or so. And the first one, I think it's the biggest. Maybe I should have left it till last. I don't know, but it's not Batman specific. So let's start big and then we'll see where we go. And that is that we finally did get a real reveal of Jason Momoa as Lobo. So we all knew it was coming. He was certainly teased in the Supergirl trailer that came out last month. December, whatever. But then they did a cool little snippet on like social media of Jason Momoa where he's himself and they say, oh, do you have any comments about playing Lobo? And he just looks at the camera and goes, finally. And then we get a great little clip of him in his full Lobo regalia riding his big, alien Harley. And yeah. And then the reason they revealed that is because right in there with it was they released a TV spot for Supergirl that included that footage that, based on our friend Joe's input, Joe Fornerato, because I just have to trust him, is that they do a lot of these for the football playoffs leading up to the Super Bowl of like, oh, it's a good way to get lots of eyeballs. And I've got to imagine for the football watching audience that they're like, hey, to drum up even more interest, it would be good to feature Lobo in the trailer for Supergirl. And so we got the little Lobo promo, and then we got the TV spot, which was mostly stuff pulled from the trailer, but then also the Lobo footage as well. So, Brendan, what'd you think?
Okay, gonna be honest here. I don't really have any sort of investment in Lobo. Like the most exposure I've had to him has been like the Justice League cartoons, and he was in Brave and the Bold too, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure it's like Space Cabbie and stuff. Yeah. That's kind of it. like I've never read any of his solo stuff. If he's appeared in other comics that I've read, I can't remember. So this is going to be my main exposure to the character. In terms of the look, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, Jason Momoa just looks like Lobo, period. So it's, if you were going to cast him as something in this new DC universe, it's a no-brainer. So, and I'm glad that he finally gets a chance to do it, because clearly he's wanted to for a long time. So, I mean, it looks ripped off the page, so I have no complaints one way or the other.
Well, I wouldn't expect that you would have read any comics with Lobo, because he was never in the new Batman Adventures.
Yeah.
He did show up in Superman the Animated Series, though.
I would have seen him in there. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe it wasn't Justice League, or maybe it was both.
I think it was. I think it was both, but yeah, it's a little fuzzy. But yeah, I mean, like, this is just perfect casting, right? And we all knew he's already 70% of the way there before you put a piece of makeup on him. He already looks so close to it. So of course he looks exactly like Lobo. I thought the promo was super fun. I loved the excitement around it, and he looks great. The bike looks great. I like that they gave him like the sharp teeth and everything. So yeah, I think he looks awesome. And again, I think it's smart. Like, if the idea is to have this trailer playing, during the football playoffs, like, yeah, throw him in there. Makes sense to me. So yeah, I was into it. I was like, great, looks exactly like Lobo. That's fine by me. And happy to see him back in the DC family.
Yeah.
And
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I watched his new movie on Amazon yesterday and had a blast with it. So
nice.
He's front of mind at the moment, because he was genuinely hilarious in it. So Wrecking Crew, check it out.
All right, good. He is front of mind for me, because I told you this.
But yeah, of course.
Our friends at home don't know this, but if anyone who follows me on Letterboxd might have noticed this, is we've been watching a lot of Aquaman and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Because when we got to California, the first week we were in a hotel, and that very first night we're in the hotel, we're getting ready for bed. I turn on the TV, Aquaman's on. I'm like, great, put on Aquaman as we go to bed. Harley fell in love with it. And then she's been asking to watch Aquaman and Aquaman 2 every night since. And now we're going on 3 weeks. So I have watched Aquaman at least a dozen times in the past couple weeks. I've watched Aquaman 2 probably 6 to 8 times in the last couple weeks, which honestly, I'm fine with. I love that. I love those movies. Y'all know that. Works for me. That's great. I haven't logged them every time on Letterboxd, because I feel like at a certain point it becomes obnoxious. But yeah, we're just like living that Aquaman life right now. And Harley goes, I want to watch Aquaman. Aquaman's my favorite. And I was like, okay, great.
And as I said to you, Momoa does have that effect on ladies.
Well, in the first one, when he is, shirtless, she goes, he naked. You
hadn't told me that. That's funny.
And then she goes, oh, Daddy, he looks like you. And I was like, oh, you're too kind. Thank you.
Okay. So what you're saying is you need to take her to an optometrist.
Okay.
When's that booked in for?
Okay, smart guy. But yes, anyway, she loves it, and I'm totally fine with it, because I'd rather watch that than Peppa Pig or Paw Patrol or the other things that she's obsessed with. So she's all in.
Say, you tread very carefully, my friend. If you threw Bluey in there, we'd have to throw down.
She doesn't really get into Bluey. Sorry about it. She does like a little bit. But yeah, here's your hot take that you better just accept. Peppa Pig and Bluey are the same show. Sorry about it.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, regardless, I've been watching lots of Momoa as Aquaman, and then the Lobo thing was a little like, oh, that's right, he's gonna be Lobo now. I've just been so in it. So anyway, I'm into it. I think it's fun. And as this came out, he was asked about playing Lobo and if he was going to be doing it in multiple movies or whatever. And I got some quotes from Jason Momoa. He says, I only know that Lobo's in this one, so we'll see what the future of all that holds. I'd love for his own thing to be coming out. I think it'll be up to the audience and how they feel about it. So no guarantees of future appearances of Lobo, but I mean, come on. Yeah, he's still a huge movie star. I'm sure he's going to be a scene stealer in Supergirl, so I'm sure we will see him again. I would not be shocked if we see him again in Man of Tomorrow, but we'll see.
Yeah, particularly with Brainiac coming into it, bringing in that, galactic element, possibly.
Yeah, I feel like there is going to be even more of that in Man of Tomorrow. I mean, there was plenty of sci-fi stuff in Superman, but I think we're going to go even more because, like you said, with the Brainiac thing. Anyway, Lobo's coming. Supergirl coming in June. Awesome. Let's switch gears to Batman, though, because right before the new year, we talked about Scarlett Johansson joining the cast of the Batman Part 2. And then we got some additional casting news from the Batman Part 2. Much like Scarlett, it was run by reputable places, but I don't think it was ever officially confirmed by Warner Brothers or Matt Reeves or James Gunn. But seems pretty darn likely, and that is that Sebastian Stan has been cast in the Batman Part 2, most likely as Harvey Dent.
I mean, yeah. It makes sense, I guess. Like, I don't. He's a good actor. I can see it. Like, I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other. Yeah, but I don't have a lot of input with these first two.
Well, thanks a lot. I guess after Thunderbolts bombed, he needed a job.
True.
And so he's like, I'll jump back over I'll try the other side of the street. I'll try DC. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Sebastian Stan's great. I love him. I think he's great. Him as Harvey Dent. Yeah, I could totally see it. Makes lots of sense. Yeah. I'm less excited that we're going to see the downfall of Harvey Dent in a sequel to an ultra realistic Batman movie.
Yep.
So, that it's hard to get too excited about that. That feels, I don't know. It's a little deja vu-y. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Probably just me. But that aside, he's, he is a good actor. I think he could play a very good Harvey Dent / Two-Face. And so cool. I think that, probably at Thanksgiving, after everybody ate their Thanksgiving meals, Matt Reeves watched The Winter Soldier. And he was like, oh my God, Scarlett Johansson. She's really good. I should get her. And then Winter Soldier showed up and he's like, oh my God, Sebastian Stan, he's really good. I should get him. And then Samuel L. Jackson pops up and he's like, I guess I got my Lucius Fox too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Evans is going to be the Scarecrow. It's going to be so good. Anyway, all that aside, Sebastian Stan is great. It is fun to watch the intermingling of Marvel actors coming to DC and back and forth. They're certainly not the first to do it, but they might be the more high-profile ones to do it. I always forget Christian Bale played the bad guy in Thor 4, but
yeah, true.
But that aside, right? These are pretty two big important cogs in the Marvel wheel, and so interesting to see them coming over to Batman.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens in 2052 when we get this movie.
We will see what happens, indeed. And as news continues to bubble up as we get towards production, it will be interesting to see how it shapes up. So, whenever we talk about the Batman Part 2, or the Reeves-verse, as we affectionately refer to it, the question always comes up, but what about the Brave and the Bold? What's going on with the Brave and the Bold? And people on the internet are asking the same thing. What's interesting, and I think we talked about this, maybe it was the year end, where it's like, it really feels like Batman fandom is split. They're the ones who are like, I want the Reeves verse. I just can't wait for that. And then they're the ones who are like, when are we getting the Brave and the Bold? So it's just interesting. I don't feel like either side is bigger than the other, at least in my experience. But anyway, regardless, there was some news that came out about the Brave and the Bold, and that is that Christina Hudson is writing it. And she of course wrote The Flash. She wrote Birds of Prey, and she wrote Bumblebee. And this came out not from James Gunn, but then James, I guess there were some fans who were like, oh no, she wrote The Flash and we hate The Flash. And so James Gunn came to her defense and was like, listen, y'all throwing shade at Christina Hudson, you need to stop. She's a great writer. She's been part of this since the very beginning. We're super excited to work with her, and it's not fair. Even if you didn't like another movie, it's not fair to judge her based on a movie you might not have liked, because things change. Which I think is, I'm obviously paraphrasing, but that was essentially what he posted, just being like, don't crap on Christina Hudson. She's great. I will say, I think Bumblebee is pretty great. I still think The Flash is great, and I think Birds of Prey is pretty good. So I'm not mad about it at all. But it also makes a ton of sense where, as of right now, Andy Muschietti is still attached. That could still change. But it makes sense, right? That they work together on The Flash and that they would then do this. So, yeah, how are you feeling about that?
Look, I mean, say what you will about The Flash. Batman was great in that movie.
Both of them were.
Yeah. That's
right?
that's what I mean. Like, I didn't single one out. Like, Batman, the character, was great in that movie. And that's what made all of us go, Andy needs to direct the new Batman movie. And I still stand by that. I haven't seen Birds of Prey in a minute. Probably not since it was first got its physical release back in like 2020, thereabouts. I need to revisit it, actually. But I do remember enjoying it. Like, I saw it twice at the cinema. I thought it was solid. I'm pretty sure I saw Bumblebee. This was sort of right when John Cena. He's in that one, isn't it? That's when he's sort of making his turn to like big Hollywood guy.
I always forget he's in it, but yes, he's in it.
Yeah. It was one of those ones I'd completely checked out of Transformers by that stage, but I'd heard enough people say, no, this is actually really good. Like, I watched it one lazy afternoon when I had nothing else to do. And from memory, it was pretty enjoyable as well. So,
I think it's a pretty cold take to say that Bumblebee is the best live action Transformers movie.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot of investment in that franchise, but I remember loving the first one. But yeah, Bumblebee from memory's pretty good. So again, I have no problem with her coming on board. Like, yeah, welcome back.
You're right. It's exciting. I'm into it. Again, I think that, and again, like The Flash, if you think of the things that people didn't like about The Flash, very little of it had to do with the script, right?
She didn't write the special effects.
Yeah, it was the special effects and Ezra Miller, I think, were the two things that really got ask. The script itself, I think, came off pretty unscathed. And again, when you think about some of my favorite scenes in that movie, is the scene between Barry and his mom, the scene between Barry and Bruce, the Ben Affleck Bruce. Those are incredibly well written scenes, so I'm not that worried about it. I think I like what she does, and I think it's cool that she's staying also in the DC realm.
Yep, no problems here.
We're going to get back to the Brave and the Bold in just a second, but there were a couple other little tidbits that James Gunn commented on that I thought were worth a mention. So, because so much of this quote unquote news that I pulled up were just things that James Gunn tweeted or responded or clarified. It seems like Threads is where he is the most active these days. And I just heard something, I don't know if it's true, but I just heard that like Threads now has more daily traffic than X. So that's kind of encouraging. So maybe I need to spend more time over there. I don't know. But anyway, it seems like that's where James Gunn is the most active. So step away from Brave and the Bold, be right back. Hold that thought. Because a fan tweeted, I'm going to say tweeted, right? Tweeted on Threads. He threaded a picture of Grant Gustin as the Flash to James Gunn and was like, this needs to happen in the new DCU. And James Gunn just responded, it happened on TV for 9 seasons, which is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty good rebuttal. Listen, I love Grant Gustin. I think he was a great Flash. I really do, even though I never finished the show, but I liked him a lot. But like, it's okay that the time has passed. When it is time for the Flash to enter the new DCU, I'm not holding out hope that it's going to be Grant Gustin.
No.
But I appreciated it happened on TV for 9 seasons. And then I don't know how many times we have to cover it, but apparently once more is someone goes, well, is there any chance that Robert Pattinson could still be the DCU Batman, even if it's like a multiverse thing where it's not connected to the Reeves movies, but it's still Pattinson? And James Gunn just responded with no.
Thank you.
Yep. So, guys, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Pattinson is the Reeves Batman. That's where you get to go to enjoy him. DCU will have a different Batman. I think that's as it should be. It's fine. Plus, let Pattinson have some time off. He's not going to live in the damn suit. Although he's had, I think he's had like 8 years off of being Batman at this point. So
yeah, pretty much.
At this point, you go, Robert, are you excited about the new Batman? He's like, I'm Batman?
Yeah, I'm Batman? Question mark?
What? Anyway, so those made me laugh. But then the conversation came back to the Brave and the Bold. And this is what James Gunn said. He said, the universe is rife with misinformation about the Brave and the Bold on every level.
Yep.
So those blogs be lying to you. I still have to remember who said that. I want to say it was Yaya who said that. But let's go back to that. Every time someone comes out with a Brave and the Bold scoop, just know it is 99.9% BS, because James Gunn is like, no. And then he even said, he goes, nothing will happen with the Brave and Bold until an actionable script is ready. So there's no way of guessing. And then he also said, we're well into the Batman Part 2, and I wouldn't want to cloud the Batsphere until after that.
That's where everyone ran with that of like, no Brave and the Bold until after the Batman Part 2.
And that part hurt. As someone who is much more excited about the Brave and the Bold, that part I was like, oh, how long are we gonna have to wait? Because I ain't getting any younger, okay? And so there was asking about like, because there were rumors, I think that, it's going to come out, the same year as the Batman Part 2 or right after. And
that was never going to happen.
Yeah, I know, right? It wasn't. So James Gunn, he said, I'm not at all undervaluing the character. I think both Batman and Wonder Woman are incredibly important, but I'm also not going to have two Batman movies coming out in the same year.
Yeah, because why would you?
Yeah, which a bit of a no-brainer, but yeah, that's where we are now. So when is the Batman Part 2? Is fall of 27, right?
I believe so.
October of 27. So still a year and a half away. So yeah, Brave and the Bold, we just continue to wait and see. It's just a shame that it's been so quiet. It's great to hear Christina Hudson still writing, but yeah, we just have to be patient. And in the meantime, the news we get and the info we get will be about the Batman Part 2.
Which, that's fine. Let's get it out of the way. I do wonder, like, he only said Part 2, so I do wonder if that means there may not be a Part 3, which everyone just assumed there would be.
Yeah, trilogy makes sense, right? We're used to kind of that.
It's
model.
The standard now.
Yeah, right. It'll all depend on how it does, how the next one does. So anyway, moving back to Gotham, but not with the Batman Part 2, not with the Brave and the Bold. We've got Clayface coming out in less than a year, this October. And so someone asked James Gunn about like seeing a trailer soon. And he said, the trailer will not be coming in the next couple months. And he said, I haven't even seen the film yet because James is still in the first cut. So they're still doing the first cut of the film, which means we're going to have to just be patient for the trailer. I bet we'll get that trailer probably in June.
Yeah, I reckon.
When we go see Supergirl.
Yeah.
And, and again, for a smaller budgeted, horror Clayface movie, I think that's okay. It's not like a tentpole the way Supergirl is, where you want to start hyping it up well in advance. I think it's okay to take your time with this one, but I also understand the other side where I also am eager to see what this movie looks like and what it feels like. And so I would love to get a trailer sooner, but right now the focus is on Supergirl, as it should be, comes out first. And so let them do the work on Clayface, and then we will see more of that when the time is right, which again, I think is probably going to be around when Supergirl comes out.
Yeah. If I was a betting man, that'd be where I'd be putting my money. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's no Supergirl without Superman. And Superman was last summer. And if you remember, I was very excited when I got my Superman toy that had the Yeti and the Fortress of Solitude. And I guess James Gunn released the complete script, his complete script for Superman.
Okay, I've missed this.
And the Yeti scene is in there.
Oh, okay.
So We saw it in the toys. It was in it was in a kid's book. I think I got a Crypto Little Golden book for Harley, and it was in there.
Cool.
And so I was like, okay, if the Yetis were just in the toys, I'd be like, it's probably nothing. But it was in the book and the toys. And I was like, okay, they were supposed to be Yetis. And then there had been reports of people who worked on the film going, oh, yeah, we did shoot a scene with the Yetis. It just didn't make the final cut. And so it is in the script. So it is confirmed. It was definitely in the script. I guess we can believe those reports of the people who said, oh, yeah, like we did shoot it, just didn't happen. But here is how it reads in the script. It says, Crypto cheerily drags Superman past the corpses of gigantic white kaijus covered in fur, spattered over a few 100-yard radius around the fortress. Superman then tells him, Crypto, you need to stop killing the abominable snowmen.
God. I wondered where it was going. It's just like, geez, that's dark. And then they've made kids' toys of it.
Right? So well, tell me how you feel before I tell you how I feel.
Look, I'm kind of glad it's not in there. I see why it's funny. Like it made me laugh, but also, I don't know, it kind of paints Crypto as a bit of a dick, like just randomly murdering these, creatures. It's like, if you, I guess the Arctic equivalent of just like a dog running wild in a neighborhood, mauling everything that it sees. It's a bit morbid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I will say I'm glad it's not in there. I don't like it. It would have been funny if like he was dragging it and the Yeti scattered when they saw Crypto, and then Superman was like, Crypto, you need to stop chasing the Yetis. But like having a bunch of dead Yetis, to me, no, that's not fun. That's just kind of like sad. Like I would have just been sad. So yeah, I think it would have been funnier if like, oh yeah, Crypto likes to chase the Yetis, and so now they're afraid of him. That could be funny. But the fact that it's just like it was going to just be a bunch of Yeti corpses, nah, I'm not into it.
Yes, it's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a bit too much. So I'm glad they cut it. But I tell you, the Yeti toy is awesome, and I do wish he'd have been in the movie. He was real cool. Anyway, Superman will be back before we know it, because they're about to start production on Man of Tomorrow like any day now.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So we're moving towards this. And something that happened again right before the end of the year is there was like a casting notice, and the casting notice was for like a tall, muscular woman. And so some fans were like, oh, like maybe it's Wonder Woman. And then one of our listeners, old pal and Superman superfan. I hope it's on his resume that way. Stephen Marshall goes, what if it was Maxima? And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes total sense. What if it is Maxima? And so allegedly, this has been quote unquote confirmed. I am doing quote unquote because I can't find the actual confirmation. I can only find articles that say it's been confirmed. I can't find the source of the confirmation, but allegedly, according to Nexus Point News, the initial casting call called for a tall, warrior-like female character, and it was, according to them, confirmed that it is not Wonder Woman, but it is indeed Maxima, and she will serve as an antagonist for the first half of the film, and then might become more of a teammate towards the end of the film, which aligns with Maxima as a character. I don't know how familiar you are.
Vaguely.
I know her from some comics, especially from like the 90s. She is honestly, I would call her like Superman's Talia.
Yeah.
Because she is, yes, this like warrior queen from another planet who believes that the only man who is worthy of her is Superman. And so she's not bad, but she's not good, because she'll do things to get Superman's attention or to try and steal him away. At least that's my experience with the character. But again, going a little more sci-fi, a little more intergalactic, a little more alien with Brainiac and Man of Tomorrow, I think Maxima could make a lot of sense. And also, James Gunn, I could totally see James Gunn being like, I want Maxima in this movie.
Yeah.
So as much as I would love an introduction for Wonder Woman, a lot of that stuff, like, of course I want it, but I'm not holding my breath. This makes a little more sense with the story they're telling.
Yeah, and I mean, with Gunn too, his thing is, you know, introducing to a wider audience these lesser known characters from, you know, Marvel and DC. I mean, you know, if you'd have told me 7 years ago that we'd have 2 seasons of a Peacemaker show, I'd be like, what? Like, you know what I mean? And it'd be amazing.
And why?
Yeah, and who? Like, yeah, it's what he does, and so far he's done it very well. Like I said, in both universes. So, yeah, I'm keen to see what happens, and if it is, great. If it's not, well, we'll wait and see who it is.
Right. So yeah, again, take that one with a grain of salt because I can't find the real confirmation, but it seems awfully likely. So if we were on Mythbusters, I would call this one plausible. And then another movie that is into production is Dynamic Duo. And that is the animated movie that is focused on Dick Grayson and Jason Todd as Robins. Now, this is why I pulled this, because I think it's interesting, is that a fan asked James Gunn, he said, "Hey, James, is it true that Dynamic Duo is being rewritten to be part of the DCU?" And James Gunn responded with nope. And then someone else asked about the status, and James Gunn said it's going really, really well. So this is why I was confused. I thought it was always going to be part of the DCU.
Look, I don't know. Like when they first made that announcement, what is it, 2 or 3 years ago? Because it was right around the time of my birthday. With that initial slate, which now looks nothing like like what they announced.
Where's that Themyscira show? Where's that Themyscira show?
Yeah, and like the what was the movie that had the old love from Superman in it? Some group that I never heard of.
Oh yeah.
What was it called?
Not the Syndicate. Something like that, right?
Yeah, and yeah,
with the engineer. Yeah, with the engineer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what were we saying? My brain's gone.
We're talking about Dynamic Duo,
That's
the
right,
animated movie.
And he made.
Let me tell you this: Dynamic Duo was not part of that original announcement. It came later.
No, it was. That's what I mean. Like, it wasn't part of that. But I remember him saying that, like, when he took over, it was going to be like. And this is where it never made sense to me: is that games, animated shows, you know, all this sort of stuff, it's all connected. But then at the same token, they're like, but you don't need to see everything for it to make sense. And I'm like, but if everything's connected, like, how is that going to work? Yeah, so I don't know. I think I assumed maybe it was just because it's theatrical and based on what he said. But as we've seen from that original Slate announcement, things change. Like, there was no Clayface in that announcement, and that's coming before the end of the year. And yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that is. Maybe we just assumed it was part of the DCU continuity because it's a theatrical DC movie, and they didn't say it wasn't. But maybe it was just more of an assumption on our part. So, or maybe I missed it when they said it wasn't. That's just very possible too. So, yeah, this is interesting. Like, I don't have strong feelings on it because, like, listen, I'm excited. It sounds weird and kind of cool to get an animated movie focusing on 2 Robins. I think that could be tons of fun. Some of the things I heard about, like the style, has me intrigued. I want to know what that looks like. But because it's animated, like, yeah, it would be a little weird if it tied into the live action franchise. So maybe it is better just as its own thing. But at the same time, to your point, when they talked about this whole phase, it was like, oh, you know, we're telling one big story, except for these other things. When we're not, it just feels a little weird.
The Authority was that group? Maybe. So I was just Googling, because that's where I was just bugging the hell out of me. I couldn't think of that bloody movie.
Well, I mean, it comes out in a few months, so you better remember.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dynamic Duo, again, like, that was one, like, listen, hey, more love for Robin. I'm going to be into it, but it will be interesting to see what this animation looks like. And then, yeah, like, see how it's its own thing and not connected to the DCU.
From what I've heard is the animation style is kind of a, the Spider-Man, Spider-Verse type animation.
Okay. I mean, that is kind of the new thing. So,
yeah.
So I would not be shocked, but I swear, like, and I might be saying this, I might be incorrect, but my memory is they said, like, the filmmakers behind it have a very unique animation style where they used like live action puppets to animate, but it's not a stop motion movie. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? And that's the part where I was a little confused, and I was like, well, I guess I just have to wait to see it because I don't really understand that.
Yeah. Well, let's just say a mutual friend of ours who works within the cinema world went to a conference last year and saw like the tiniest little bit of footage. And that's how he described it to me. It was kind of like Spider-Verse style animation.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Again, like, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of tried to do that.
Turtles did it, yeah.
K-pop Demon Hunters kind of tried to do it. This new basketball goat movie seems like you should. It's good. This new basketball goat movie kind of has shades of that too. So yeah, it certainly seems to be the in thing. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like.
Okay.
But not part of the DCU, but someone who might be part of the DCU yet. Not sure. Still hoping. Still fingers crossed. That's Blue Beetle.
Yes.
I would have loved Blue Beetle to show up in Superman. I think it would have been a great shot across the bow of being like, hey, look, he's back. We're committed to this character, but it didn't work out that way. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I still have to keep being patient for the return of Blue Beetle. And we know that there's an animated series in some form of pre-production or something, right? We know that that's allegedly happening. But what does that mean? Well, right. We haven't heard anything. So allegedly it's still happening. But what does that mean for the live action Blue Beetle? And I know I've said this before, but just a reminder, if you guys haven't revisited Blue Beetle or if you've never seen it, you're missing out. It's great. I love that movie. I think it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. So here's what's funny. With Harley's Aquaman obsession, and that week that we were in the hotel, we were at the mercy of whatever was on TV. And what I learned is there seems to be a DC movie on at all times on TV on some channel.
Okay.
And so we watched a lot. Well, we watched bits and pieces of a lot of them, mostly Aquaman, but a little bit of The Flash was on. A little bit of Green Lantern was on randomly.
Oh wow! Okay, imagine if that was the one she latched onto.
That would be hilarious. But Blue Beetle was on, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Let's watch Blue Beetle." And it was the scene for the first time he transforms, with the thing comes out of his back and it goes over his face, and he's screaming, and they're all screaming, and it's very intense. And Harley's like, "What's going on? What's the matter?" And I was like, "It's okay, honey. It's okay. He's turning into the Blue Beetle. It's okay. He's a superhero." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, see, he's okay, right? So I had to talk her through it. She was okay. She was all right. We watched it for a little while. I was like, okay, time to go to sleep. Turn off the TV. She's sleeping with me because we're in a hotel. And she goes, "Daddy?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I don't want to be a Blue Beetle." And I was like, okay.
Oh, sweetie.
I was like, okay, you don't have to be. It's okay. So, yeah, the scene of him transforming scared her. She's like, "I don't want to do that." Fair enough. Anyway, that cracked me up. So, Blue Beetle live action. A couple of members of the Blue Beetle family commented on this recently, which is exciting. The first one was Belissa Escobedo, who played Milagro, his sister, in the film. Someone asked her about Blue Beetle and the return, possibly a sequel, and she goes, "Oh, absolutely. That's totally in the works and in talks. So hopefully that's happening soon. I'm going to see Zolo soon. We're going to do Comic-Con together."
Oh, cool.
So I love that, she didn't give some sort of half-assed answer of, "Oh, we'll just have to wait and see," or "I hope so." She goes, "No, absolutely, it's happening." So great. And then someone else talked to the director of the first film, Angel Manuel Soto, and asked about the future of Blue Beetle. And here's what he said. He said, "Yeah, there have been conversations, and that's all I can say. I mean, that's fair. Conversations are happening." And then about the Blue Beetle sequel, he said, "Oh, there's definitely, James Gunn has been very vocal about keeping Blue Beetle in the DCU, so good things are coming for Jaime Reyes and his family."
Okay, interesting.
So to get two very positive responses is a very encouraging. And again, as someone who loved that movie and really loves Zolo as Blue Beetle and loves that freaking Blue Beetle costume, I want to see him back sooner than later. That's encouraging. I'll be interested to see when and where, but God, I hope it's sooner than later.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that one. Sadly, I didn't get to see it at the cinema. I think that was still like COVID times, wasn't it?
It was kind of towards the end,
Yeah,
but
but I think it was also one that you got several months before we did. They held it for our September school holidays. So yeah, well, maybe I did get to see the movies, but we just didn't get to talk about it as much together on here.
Well, it's great. I also love that score. There's a lot to like about that movie. Anyway, we'll see, but it was nice to again hear some good news about it. Let's go back though and pay our respects to one of our old Batmen, and that's Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
So Zack Snyder is now on Instagram, and he'll randomly share some stuff from his DC days on Instagram. And so he shared a cool IMAX image of Ben Affleck in the Batman costume. And the caption was more about IMAX than it was about Batman, but it said, "Seeing this frame projected in IMAX makes the difference immediately clear. The retained detail and physical scale of the image are overwhelming in person." So basically like, hey, Batman looks cool, but he looks even cooler in IMAX. Did you get a chance to see this?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's pretty cool. Go to Instagram, go to Zack Snyder, or do I have to do it for you?
No, I can have a look.
Yeah, he shared a little image of Batfleck, and yeah, it's super cool. Of course, like we know how good Ben looks as Batman, and a cool image. Don't know what motivated Zach to do it that day, but still, it's I always take more pictures of Batfleck.
Interesting. Yeah, I totally missed that.
Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. So yeah, he's kind of in the middle of like a dilapidated building, but he's just kind of standing right there in the center. So
he posted a cool little video of Gal as Wonder Woman too 5 days ago. Yeah, he'll always just do enough to keep people,
right, talking.
And like the shot of Cavill in the I did see that one, the shot of Cavill in the original like Reeve style costume and everything.
Yeah. But you're right, he definitely he definitely does just enough. So but then people go, what does this mean? It's like, it probably means nothing. He's just
scrolling through his feed. Like just this month, he's posted so much stuff, like so much DC stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, Zach.
Oh, I wasn't even following him. What a terrible fan I am. But yeah. And then, yeah, quick shot of slow-mo Gal Gadot. Pictures of him with his comics. So yeah, it's cool. Anyway, thought that was worth a mention, especially because the Batman of it. And then James Gunn shared something really fun that I completely missed. So I'm really glad we were doing this because it made me dig into the news, and somehow I missed this. But on social media, I believe this is on Threads. It looks like Threads to me. It could have been Instagram. Maybe it was both, because a lot of times it will be both. James Gunn posted 4 photos, and it is the caption is "set design in Chacos, #Superman." And the pictures are of different Chacos products that were on the set, either for Superman or for Man of Tomorrow. So do you know what I mean when I say Chacos?
I'm assuming it's some sort of cereal. I'm just looking on his Instagram. It's not on there, whatever you're talking about.
So it must have been on Threads.
Yeah.
Chacos.
Oh, hang on. Is it the milk thing?
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Yep, I can see it.
So Chacos is the DC Universe version of Oreos.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that.
And they're the favorite food of a favorite character.
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter.
Yep.
So I thought this was really cool. Of course, James Gunn would appreciate Chacos. But what is unclear is like, oh, were these Chacos Easter eggs on the Superman set for the movie that we've already seen? Or are these for Man of Tomorrow? And if they are, does that mean we might be getting Martian Manhunter?
Well, I mean, where the hell would that fit into the Superman movie? like along, no, like he's with the dead Yetis or something. Like, I mean,
I know. Well, that's just it. Is like because he put hashtag Superman. So like, I'm like, okay, are you saying this was in Superman and we just all missed it, or is it hashtag Superman because it's the next Superman movie, and we might be teeing up Martian Manhunter.
I hope it's the latter.
Because me too.
That would make sense.
Me too. It would make all the sense. Again, much like Maxima, where we're going more alien. Like, it's a great time to bring in Martian Manhunter, and it really does feel like, with the exception of Superman himself, James Gunn is trying to give some time between the Snyder versions of things before he introduces his versions. But Martian Manhunter, he was a cameo at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max. So it's like, it barely counted. So, like introducing a Martian Manhunter in the new DCU, I don't think anyone would be confused and being like, wait, that's different than Zack Snyder's Justice League. Only us nerds would, and we know the difference. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that is what it means. I think that would be really, really fun. But like, otherwise, why share it?
Yeah.
But what's crazy is the fact that I didn't see this happen or hear anyone talk about it. And I mean, I've been moving, so I've been a little out of the loop, so maybe I missed it. But regardless, I just thought that, like, okay, well, that is a very specific tease regardless.
Yeah, and you know what? I probably saw it and like didn't even notice it was James Gunn. I just saw a thing of milk and kept scrolling. I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, well, because I thought it was something with like Trump's whole milk thing that he was going on about. I was like, yeah, whatever, and kept scrolling.
Well, so yeah, it's like not a carton of milk, but a bottle of milk that says Chacos, and then a package of the cookies that says Chacos, and then it's like a fake ad that says Chacos. And then
the office looks awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, it's random, but it's fun. And this was on January 27th. So it was not that long ago.
No. Curiouser and curiouser.
Yeah. So just wait and see. Things to look forward to, or maybe it's nothing. Maybe it is literally just an Easter egg and we've gotten all excited for nothing. But you know what? Superman co-starred Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl. I don't think it's any stretch that Martian Manhunter could show up in the sequel.
Absolutely not.
Well, there you go. So that is what I've got as far as news. That's the end of my list, my friend.
Well, that was more than I expected.
I know, me too. Again, I was like, oh, well, that's kind of interesting. Okay, that's kind of cool. So, yeah, good times. Now everybody out there is all caught up. You're welcome. I did it for you.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Here's what'll be interesting is, when does Man of Tomorrow start production? Because they said Q1, so that means in the next month or two. And then I believe the Batman Part 2 is Q2. So it's like things are going to start coming in hot and heavy for either or both of those very soon. So should keep us busy. All right. Well, that's it for the news for now. That's what we got. But Brendan, you inspired me. You're like, should we go back to an episode of the Batman? And I was like, yeah, I guess we should. That's probably a good idea.
It's been like, and it was longer than I thought too. It was like June or something when we did the last one.
It's been so long, and I'm so sorry. So for those of you who still care or even remember, we've been reviewing episodes of the Batman, and last one we did, like you said, was June. It was before Superman came out. So let's get back to it. Here we go. It's time to review another animated episode of The Batman. We are in the middle of season 3. And the last one we did was Thunder with Maxie Zeus, which I remember liking. I remember thinking that was a pretty cool version of Maxie Zeus. And now we're season 3, episode 12, The Icy Depths. So I watched this on HBO Max. I believe it is gone from Netflix for anybody who is looking where to watch it. It was on Netflix before, but I think that it's off and now it's back on HBO Max. But the next one is The Icy Depths. This one aired on May 6th, 2006. It's written by Stephen Melching, directed by Anthony Chun. So this one, there's a lot going on, guys. A lot going on. There is a big auction for this very fancy umbrella. And some English guy really wants to buy it, but no luck because the Penguin, it's a fancy umbrella. Of course the Penguin wants it. Penguin shows up. He's going to steal it. But then surprise, surprise, someone else wants it too. And that's Mr. Freeze. So they're all after this umbrella. So the Penguin and Mr. Freeze get into it. And then Batman comes in as well. And it becomes this big fight for this umbrella. But why? Who wants it? Turns out the random dude who wanted it is an old friend of Alfred's. And so he's looking for it. He shows up at Wayne Manor, meets up with Alfred. And then Mr. Freeze and Penguin are still after it. I think Batman gets it, but Mr. Freeze manages to get the inscription of what is on the handle through his ice. So he's able to kind of remold it. And it turns out that the handle of this umbrella has coordinates to a buried treasure and buried in the water, hence the Icy Depths. I guess many, many years ago, one of the ancestors of Oswald Cobblepot had this treasure on a ship. It sank in the middle of Gotham Harbor, but the coordinates were on this umbrella. So that's what they're all after. Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, Alfred's buddy, whose name I don't even know. Is it on here? I don't know. Alfred's buddy, Batman, and then Alfred. So all 5 of them are after this treasure, which then, they manage to find the way, find where it is, because the umbrella shows them to connect all the lights of the lighthouse, which creates the X, marks the spot. And then they dive under and they go to the sunken ship, and that's where the treasure is. And everybody is after it. Eventually it is lost and sunk because of the fighting between all of these parties. And Alfred was not happy that his old buddy was after this treasure too. And so he doesn't want to be friends.
Ewan was the other old guy's name.
Ewan. So anyway,
Ewan from the DC universe.
Yeah, I'm my favorite, right?
he'll be in Man of Tomorrow.
Alfred and Ewan break up because of this. Mr. Freeze and the Penguin get arrested because they couldn't work together. And, Batman goes home to fight another day. And that is the Icy Depths. So, Brendan, what'd you think?
With this, with the majority of the episodes from this series, even though I don't know them as well as the ones in BTAS, I'm still often I have a vague memory of them. I'm like, oh, that's right, this one. I couldn't remember this one for the life of me. This was brand new. A question: when it started in the auction and everything, did you think Ewan was Jason Blood?
No, it didn't even cross my mind. I just didn't know who the heck it was supposed to be.
Okay, because I was like, did they do Etrigan in this? He had that look about him. I couldn't remember. But then,
I totally see why you would think that. Yeah.
Yeah. When I got into it though, I thought it was a really cool little adventure story, and you don't really often have the Penguin and Mr. Freeze, teeing off against each other, which I thought that was kind of cool. And I don't know if I've done a Mr. Freeze episode review for this show yet on here. I can't remember, but I've always really liked this version of Mr. Freeze. I love the costume, how it's not a helmet, it's an icicle, and the costume itself produces the the ice blasts, weapons and stuff. He doesn't have the gun. I don't know, I've always really aesthetically thought this Mr. Freeze is pretty kick-ass, and having Clancy Brown voice him's cool too, no pun intended. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the sort of the treasure hunt aspect was pretty cool. I do like, again, how it continued the Pennyworths and Cobblepots, like their ongoing feud that always seems to come up in this show. Like they both have rich histories in Gotham City and everything. And yeah, I mean, you kind of knew Ewan was dodgy from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, ripping up Bruce's books, and you don't do that. That's not cool. Come on, Ewan.
Yeah, that's right. That's why he went in, is because the coordinates he needed to find then, what they led to through the books in the Wayne Library. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I did like it though. How Bruce unwillingly, like Alfred didn't want anything to do with him, and then he was Ewan's just like, oh, sadly you won't be able to join me on my mission and everything. And Bruce is like, oh, far be it from me for it to be another 36 years, whatever, before you guys get a chance to catch up. Alfred, take the afternoon off. And Alfred's
right.
Thank you, sir. And then when everything goes to shit, Alfred's like, that'll teach you for giving me an afternoon off, which I thought was really cool. But no, I thought it was a really enjoyable episode. And the fact that, like I said, for me, I had no recollection of it at all. So it was like watching a brand new one. I really had a good time with it.
Yeah, I thought it was a ton of fun. Because like you said, I love, especially on this show, but I love it in any media where I love villains clashing as well. And it always feels like a bit of a bonus of like, oh, like I get 2 for the price of 1 in this episode. And I think that the Penguin and Mr. Freeze, like you said, I don't remember other times they've clashed. So I thought that was a blast. I love the idea of them going after the same thing and butting heads. So I thought that was really cool. I also liked it felt very National Treasure of the treasure hunt itself. And like, the umbrella giving the coordinates leading to the lighthouses, leading to the location of the treasure. I thought all that was really cool. And then when they were in the ship and they were in this upside down ship at the treasure, I thought that was all really cool too. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I think the biggest issue with it is Ewan. I don't know why he's there. We don't know anything about him, so I don't really care about him. And he kind of takes time away from everything else. So I just thought it was like one extra element that the episode doesn't need. I think that Penguin and Mr. Freeze being after the same thing and Batman trying to stop them would have been enough. I don't know why we needed this random other dude just kind of coming in and mucking up the works. So yeah, it would have been different if like we'd have known more about him and Alfred's relationship, and then maybe it would have felt a little more earned. But as it is, I was just like, yeah, I don't know why this guy is here and why we're doing this, because I think there's plenty other things to keep us entertained. But I will say, because it was kind of like Penguin and Mr. Freeze and then Alfred and Ewan, Batman almost felt sidelined for most of it. He wasn't all that involved. It was pretty much everyone else.
Yeah, actually, now that you say it, I can see that. But it was funny. Like, I didn't really feel that at the time. Like, I felt like there was enough going on. I never felt bored or like, oh, come on, where's Batman? Like, I wasn't clock watching for him to show up, like can happen in, some versions of the character.
Yeah, no, I wasn't either. I wasn't like, where's Batman? I just was like, oh, wow, there's like so much else going on. There's just not a lot of Batman.
I wonder if Ewan, like, I don't know, because without him, does Alfred get involved as much? But then, like, I really liked Alfred's involvement as well. Like, it for this honestly felt more like an Alfred adventure than a Batman one.
Yeah, it did. And again, if that's the way you want to go, I think that's great. But then you just need to do the work in like making us care about you. Because instead, you see him at the auction and then he shows up at the front door of the Waynes and he's like, hey, Alfred, how you been? Can I look at your books? It's just like, you don't feel bad when he betrays Alfred because like you don't ever really see their friendship.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I just you gotta go one of either way. Either he's not important and don't do it, or if he is important, you just need to dedicate more time for us to care about him.
Yeah.
But that, again, that aside, I still had fun with it. I thought it was a good time, and again, I appreciated it was a really unique Batman story with these villains, these characters, and then going on this type of adventure. It was unique, but in the best way possible. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, same.
All right. Well, then, what would you give it for letter grade?
I reckon just a solid A for me.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I was thinking B+.
Okay. I was thinking A minus like this whole time. Then I'm like, as we're talking about it, it's just like, it was a really fun episode. Like, yeah, I'll just give it an A.
Cool. Well, great. An A and a B plus for the Icy Depths. And it had been a while. I don't think we have seen Mr. Freeze since his first appearance on this show.
I don't think so.
So it was just nice to see him back.
Yeah. So I like this version. Yeah. Yeah. It's not really a criticism, but the Batman is kind of like Batman 66 in that way of just like Penguin always seems to show up. It's like, I don't know, was the guy who does the voice, what's his name again, who does SpongeBob? I can't remember.
Tom Kenny.
Yeah, it's just like, was he always available? Like, were they just like, write more Penguin? Like, I don't know. It's bizarre because he's always there.
Yeah. Agreed. But yeah, it was nice to see Mr. Freeze come back. Anyway, and Clancy Brown is the voice of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Oh, and fun fact, did you see who Ewan's voice was?
I did. Ian Abercrombie?
Yep, Ian Abercrombie. Do you know who that is?
Am I supposed to?
No. If you saw him, you would know him, though. You might not know his name. He was a character actor. He was in a million things. But the reason I bring it up is because he played Alfred on Birds of Prey, the TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So that's just kind of a fun fact is that, yeah, they got Alfred from Birds of Prey, which, when was that? 2003? 2002?
I think 2002.
Maybe. So yeah, a few years after that, they had him come voice one of Alfred's old buddies, which had to have been intentional. You know, the people who do the show, they brought back Frank Gorshin, they brought back Adam West. So I'm sure they were like, oh, you know, sorry that show didn't work out for you, but come do a voice on our show.
One of his known for things is Addams Family Values. I'm like, who the hell was he in Addams Family Values? And I'm going down the cast list, and he's not anywhere near the top. So
he is the butler to Joan Cusack, who's in the movie Maybe 2 Seconds.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Oh, yep. He's listed as driver.
Yep.
So that's what he's known for.
Oh, yeah. Well, he also was in The Lost World as the butler.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah. But anyway, he was Alfred in Birds of Prey, and he was actually a really good Alfred. And so it's just fun that he got to do this too.
Awesome.
All right, the Icy Depths. Look at that. This one's just for Richard Webster. the only one who cares.
We'll have to get back into it. We really will.
Yeah, indeed. Keep me honest. Well, I mean, the next one is the final episode of season 3, and that is Gotham's Ultimate Criminal Mastermind. So maybe that'll be next time.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll try to do it. Cool. All right, there you go. Another episode of The Batman. But let's not be done yet, because it's been a while. We got some emails. Let's hear from you fine feathered finks and crack open the Wayne Manor mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor mailbox.
You've got mail.
Darren. What is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
You're one hell of a messenger. This is all, Master Wayne.
All right. Got some emails. Not a million zillion, but enough. So let's go over those. The first one here is from Dave Smitty. It says, hey guys, hope you and your family had a great Christmas and Santa made all your wishes come true. I was wondering what your thoughts were on the McFarlane Batman Returns figures. I'll be collecting them starting in January. I'm very excited considering the announcement of the Nicholson Joker figure. I can't wait. I attached a video from Toy Shiz of the upcoming figure. Not sure if you've seen it. Hope you have a wonderful and safe and happy new year. All the best. See you around Gotham. LOL, Smitty. Thanks, Smitty.
I think Smitty wrote that before he listened to our end of year wrap-up episode.
It came through on December 28th.
There you go. Because we went on like a 20-minute tangent about them.
So, Smitty, I hope you enjoyed our end-of-year wrap-up because, yeah, boy, did we share our thoughts about the Batman Returns figures.
Did you watch
They're awesome.
Did you ever watch Will and Grace?
A little.
Like, it was Karen with the bartender of that. Oh, Smitty.
Oh, okay. But yes, the short answer is we love the Batman Returns figures. I still haven't opened mine, but I have found them in the move. And so it's, it's time to open them any day now. Maybe I will this weekend.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. The thing is in the unpacking hierarchy, my office comes last, of course, as it should. So it's still just full of boxes. The other rooms are taking shape, but my office is not, and that's where I keep all my Batman toys. So I do need to open them, but yeah, go back and listen to the year-end episode. We gush about the Batman Returns figures, and I can't wait for that Nicholson Joker figure.
Yep.
Cool. Well, speaking of, there is, oh my God, I can't remember the company's name. They're releasing some retro style Batman 89 figures.
I know it. Yeah.
You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah. I can't think of the brand either, but like they're smaller figures.
Yes.
Like G.I. Joe size or maybe a little bit bigger.
I'll probably get to tell you in a matter of days because I pre-ordered them. And the first set when I pre-ordered them was Batman Joker Bob. Oh, Mezco toys.
Okay.
So it's Batman, Joker, Bob, and the Batmobile. And I pre-ordered it so long ago that I honestly thought I got scammed because like they were supposed to ship in like June, and then they were supposed to ship in August, and then they were supposed to ship in October, and then they just never shipped. And I was like, okay, well, I'll enjoy my money because I'm never getting these darn things. And I just got an email a couple days ago where it's like, hey, good news, they're on their way. They'll get there on the 29th. Oh, actually, they should be here today, yesterday or today. They might be sitting outside right now. Anyway, here's my point. I was just excited because I thought for sure that all hope was lost. So not only do I get to open the Batman Returns figures, I get to open these cool retro Mezco toy figures.
Okay.
Really excited about it.
They're still for pre-order here with an ETA of March 2025, and they're about $40 a figure.
Oh,
kind of expensive for what they are.
That does feel a lot.
But hey, that's getting this kind of stuff in Australia. They're the ones like the packaging is like the same as the Toy Biz ones from the original release.
Yes, exactly. They recreated the Toy Biz packaging.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not here yet. I just checked the tracking. It's not here yet, but allegedly they're coming. Here's hoping. Anyway, there you go. Toys. As we do. All right, let's move forward. Next message here is from Austin. It says, hey guys, not sure if you're aware, but McFarlane Toys is losing the license for DC at the end of 2026. I know you're big fans of those and was curious if there were any characters that they haven't made yet that you're hoping will get made before the license ends. I'm personally hoping for a Panther suit Val Kilmer and a 1966 Robin to go with Adam West and the Batmobile. Look at that toy questions.
It's like they know us.
I know. So I'll let you answer first. Like, this is the last year for McFarlane to do DC. What are you hoping they do?
Well, they took my answer, which was the Panther suit. Like, that's obviously number one for me, is the Panther suit. You know, look, there's a part of me, and I hate myself for saying this, but I'd love a Lois and Clark like duo.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, I know without getting into the politics of it all, but just looking back on my childhood and the fact I rewatched that whole series last year, like, I'd kind of like Lois and Clark to get some love, have a bit of. It's just had that Blu-ray release, so you know. Look, give me a Terry Hatcher action figure. I'll be happy. I'm just looking at my shelves. I mean, obviously, we're getting sort of the Joker, but not the Joker. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, to be fair, actually, Lois Lane from Superman last year. Like, we never got a Lois figure.
Yeah,
we got bloody everyone else, but we never got Lois, and she's a huge part of that movie. So. I'd love to see Lois get one. yeah, it's just that it just shits me because I had all these action figures at a certain size, and then McFarlane's been doing them for years, so I've got a bunch of those now, and it's just like, can we just keep things, consistent, please? Like,
Yeah.
I like them all looking the same, and I just love the McFarlane figures. They're awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, I would agree with Panther Suit Val. I think that would be great. I didn't get any of the 66 McFarlane figures because I bought the whole line when I don't even know who did them originally. Maybe it was Mattel. I got those when they finally worked out the rights.
Yeah.
And so because I bought all those, I'm like, I'm not starting again with the McFarlane one. Sorry. I can't. So I just have the other ones. So that one I'm not as worried about. Like, I'm super glad they're doing 89 Joker. We already have 89 Batman, but I wanted a full line for 89 the same way they did for Returns. I want Batman, Vicky, Bob, Joker,
Knox
or Alfred or whatever, right? I wanted them to do the full line. It seems like I'm gonna have to live with just Batman and Joker, but I wish they would have done all the way they did with Returns and Forever and Batman and Robin. So I think that would have been awesome.
Who did the Alfred that had the interchangeable heads? Was that McFarlane or was that before McFarlane took over?
I'd have to check. I don't know. But yeah, that was like a cool thing where you could pick your Alfred.
Yeah, because I've always just kept mine Michael Goff. Like, it's never changed. And like, to be honest, he kind of fits in with the McFarlane stuff scale wise. So
now I should go on eBay, see how much he is, because I never got him. I always meant to, just never got around.
I got him when I was in Hawaii, which is what we were talking about before we were recording. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, that would be my biggest one is Batman 89, but like committed to a full line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what else they could do that I would be like, take my money. I wouldn't even think twice about it. I guess I would say the 1993 Tim Drake Robin.
Mm-hmm.
They've done Tim Drake Robins, but none have been like that first appearance of the suit. They've all been like variations of the suit. I have one of them where it's like Red Robin, but it's mostly his suit. And then they did another one, but I felt like the coloring was a little off. So yeah, like if they had done like a first appearance Tim Drake Robin, I would have totally gotten that. And again, maybe it's just it's recency bias, but they did figures for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, but I would have liked them to do the first movie, but the first movie was before McFarlane was doing them. So those don't look the same.
True. Yeah. And look, just to throw another Batman for everyone out there, the Sonar suit, but in the right friggin' color would be lovely as well. I just hope they keep, I think we might have covered this, but like, I hope they keep doing the 1/3 scale cows.
Oh yeah.
And because I can't remember if it's like statues and stuff, they're still okay, but like it's the action figures that they can't do anymore. I think there might have been like some loophole or something in there, but if we're losing that as well, like a Kill McCall, like we haven't got I think he's probably the only. I mean, there hasn't been a Pattinson one either.
Yeah,
but I mean, just in terms of the completest in me, like I've got all the live action cows, but there hasn't been. We've got Clooney for God's sake, but they haven't done a Kill McCall or a Pattinson one, so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, all right. I would like them to re-release all the Dark Knight trilogy ones because I never got those because they were like gone and were $100 a piece before I could even get them, and I just never did. All right, well, moving forward. Next one is from Imad Alagouz. It says, Yo, Bat Fam, I'm finally visiting the United States of America later this summer. As a DC Batman fan, do you have any recommendations of places, attractions, and experiences I should consider that are Batman or DC related? Planning to pay my dues to the Great Hush statue in Burbank, of course. With best regards, Imad. Thanks, Imad. Yes, you got to do the Batman statue here in Burbank, which now is, 5 minutes from my new house, which is awesome. But if you're going to be in Burbank, you've got to do the Warner Brothers tour.
Yeah.
The Wonder Woman statue is right there at the Warner Brothers tour, and then you get to see all the cool stuff on the tour. It is so worth it. And then as long as you're here, go see the Green Lantern statue. I still don't know why we don't have Superman, but we've got Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern all within, 10 minutes drive of each other. So do all those.
Isn't there not that I've done it, but the where they film the entrance to the 66 Batcave? Isn't that your part of the world now?
Griffith Park. So yeah, in Griffith Park, you can go see where the 66 Batcave entrance is. As for like, I don't know. I mean, those are all the big ones, and they're all here in California, which it sounds like is where you're coming anyway, which is great. Because all the other stuff, like, you know, like I wouldn't go out of my way for Six Flags, unfortunately. But yeah, honestly, like WB tour, Batman statue, you know, look up any other filming locations. None jump to mind, but I'm sure that they're around here somewhere. So I would do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, WB tour was my go-to, and I mean, I loved it when I did it in early 2014, and it's improved a hell of a lot since then. So
yeah, it's really great. All right, next message is from Josh Green. It says, hey guys, I've been revisiting some earlier episodes, including the original Batman 89 script, Sam Hamm's Batman 2 script, and the Justice League Mortal script. Those three are some of my favorite episodes. Here's my question. Would you rather have had the original Batman 89 script along with Sam Hamm's Batman 2 and a Tim Burton version of Batman Forever, or would you have rather had George Miller's Justice League Mortal? Thanks for all you do, Josh. Thanks, Josh. And I love that you're going back and listening to those, especially those, because those required significant homework. So I'm glad we didn't do it in vain. I do feel like those episodes, people like those because they're like, I am interested, but I'm not going to read it myself. So
that's
you guys,
exactly why I like them.
you guys read it and you tell me about it. But I'll put the question to you first, Brendan. Would you rather have the original Batman 89 script, Sam Hamm's Batman 2, and then a Tim Burton version of a 3, or Justice League Mortal?
I can't remember the original 89 script that clearly. My answer may surprise you, but I'm going to go for the Burton one just because I've always, because I'd heard, I can't remember if Batman on Film covered it years and years ago, but I'd heard about the original Batman 2 script before you guys covered it, but you just did it in more depth. But I've always loved the original Batman 2 script, the concept and everything. It feels more like a sequel to Batman 89 in all the ways that Batman Returns doesn't. And I'm not trying to shit on Batman Returns, but I've just always, that's been one of my, sliding doors, alternate timeline things, is I would have loved to have seen that version of what a Batman 89 sequel could have and in some ways should have been.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks because option one means I don't get Batman Returns, and I really do love Batman Returns, but I think I lean towards that too. I think Justice League Mortal had a lot of promise, and when we talked about it, I think there was a lot of good stuff there, but like having a good, consistent Batman trilogy from that era, I think would have been really awesome. So I'm going to say the same. Yeah,
like I've been more intrigued about Batman 2 for a lot longer than I have Justice League Mortal. And I don't know, like just the timing of Justice League Mortal just never felt right. Like it. Yeah. I mean, they would have obviously beaten Marvel to the team up movie, which I guess when they were doing it, I mean, they didn't even, Iron Man hadn't even come out yet. So the Marvel Universe wasn't even a thing, but it just, I don't know, in some ways it felt rushed. Even though technically it wasn't. I just think because we weren't in that mindset, it's like, well, we've got our big screen Batman. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what the hell? That makes no sense. Because, the Dark Knight was about to take over the world.
Yeah.
It's just, it never felt, there was something that always just felt a bit off about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thanks, Josh. That was a good question. Made us think. All right, next message here is from Mark Hall. It says, hey, I'm missing you guys, so I'm making my way back through old episodes, which is fun. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you if you're like, it's going to be a month. I'll go back and listen to some old favorites. That's fun. And now that the show's been going on so damn long, they probably feel new again because it's been a long time.
I've hit my 10 years in the time that we haven't been recording. January 2016.
Wow.
a couple of
All
weeks
right.
ago. I've been on this show for a decade.
Well, happy anniversary.
I'm up for long service, man.
Anyway, so Mark said, episode of note that I want to remind you guys was Batman Sub-Zero. In this episode, Brendan makes Jamie laugh out loud, I think for the first and only time.
Jesus, what did I do?
I don't know. And you guys seem to genuinely have a blast talking about the movie. It also sends Andy and Jamie into the Mr. Freeze saga through the DCAU, which are 2 further awesome episodes. Also of note, I often go to sleep with podcasts on, and at times that's included you guys. Have you ever done this? In my dreams, I end up thinking I'm talking to you guys, but all you do is talk and talk, never responding to anything I say. I wonder if this is the only if I'm the only person this happens to. Anyway, hope you're well, Mark. Thanks, Mark. Well, great. I guess we'll have to go back and listen to Sub-Zero because I don't remember what we said.
No, I don't know what I said.
I do remember we did that, and then because of the Blu-ray having all of the Batman the Animated Series episodes of Mr. Freeze, because it had it, we were like, oh, let's do the whole saga, which was really fun. So yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And then I
really want to know what I said.
I know, right?
I love that movie. I've always loved that movie. It's just a really cool, it's like 70 or 80 minutes or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just really fun. I love that movie so much.
Yeah, I agree. I don't go to sleep listening to podcasts because when I listen to a podcast, I actively listen. So no, I don't do that. But I do know others do. Like with Disorder, a lot of people have said that of like, oh, it's like I find it calming with the voices and it allows me to go to sleep. So I think that's okay. You're probably not the only person who this has happened to.
Or the only people that have dreamed about it. But Jess does that. She's been doing it a lot lately, obviously waking up in the night, with Bub moving around and everything. She'll put a podcast on. I don't know how people do it. But mind you, I listen to podcasts while I work. And a lot of people say to me, like, how do you you need to listen. I'm like, I do. Like, I don't know. I just can with podcasts, but I can work and listen to podcasts, but I can't work and listen to audiobooks. It's really weird. But I couldn't go to sleep listening to a podcast because I just get too involved in it.
Yeah. And then Mark chimed back in. He said, oh, and I just re-listened to the Dark Knight Returns episode, which was superb. I would love for you guys to cover the prequel and sequels, but I would settle for you covering the movie. Any chance? Yes, that's one that we keep meaning to do.
Have we never covered the Dark Knight Returns animated movie?
No.
Really?
No.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
I have to get Jamie back out of retirement for that one.
I know. And that was one where he's like, oh, I do want to do that. And I'm like, well, great. Let's figure it out. So yes, there's a chance as soon as we can drag Jamie's old bones out of retirement.
I've Mandela affected that one because I could have sworn it must have just been the comic, but yeah.
We talked about the comic, but it was me, Jamie, and I think Jay Yaws.
Also, too, I think a lot of the animated movies that came out before I came onto the show, I just assume you guys have done.
Not always.
There you go. Shit. No, we'll need to try and make that happen this year. Move that up towards the top of the list because I had no idea.
Yeah. I don't know if Jamie listens when he's not on, but Jamie, if you can hear this, it's time. Dark Knight Returns animated movie. It's time. All right, moving forward. Thank you, Mark. And we're back, so you don't have to miss us too much, but thank you so much. Next message is from Oliver. It says, Jens, I'm listening to your Batman Santa episode, and I figured I'd let you know that Michelle Bandini is in fact a male, not female, artist of Italian heritage. Don't know if you've corrected that since, as I'm not always up to date, but I figured you'd want to know in case you hadn't been made aware. Take care. Thanks, Oliver. I did not know that.
No,
so thanks for the heads up that Michelle Bandini is a male artist. Regardless, I love his art for that miniseries. When we talked about it, I was super sad when, as the series went on, it was less of his art and more of other people's art because I thought his art was absolutely stunning. So yeah, I did not realize, but I appreciate the heads up.
Good to know.
All right. And then one more email here. It's from Brandon. It says, all right, Holy BatCast, chill. Now allow me to break the ice. I was curious if you have any DC Funko Pops in your collection. And if so, what are your favorites? Here are some of mine. Hope you like P.S. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to go kick some ice. Well, thanks, Brandon. And Brandon attached some photos here of many Funko Pops. So yeah, Brendan, why don't you go for his DC Funko Pops?
Look, I used to have a lot more than I currently do. I'm sort of trying to phase them out, to be honest. For me, it was the ones like, like the Batman Forever line and like even, the Batman Returns line here and there. And, when essentially if there was a Funko Pop that a McFarlane figure has since been released, the Funko Pops have been handed down to Henry. Because it's like I just prefer the action figures, and I was getting the Funko Pops because that was all I could get. I think the only Funko Pop I still have visible in my collection is the Vicky Vale one, because there's obviously no Vicky Vale action figure, but I no longer have the Poison Ivy Funko Pop on my shelf, I can tell you that. Or the Mr. Freeze one, because as listeners would know, I got both of those for Christmas. But
well, and also because that stupid Poison Ivy Funko will never stay standing.
No, and it didn't come with a base. Yeah. To be honest, but like I always liked the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman one. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked the Panther suit Kilmer, which I thought was pretty cool, how he had the little riddle in his hands and stuff. But I'm just in general, I'm trying to sort of stay away from Funko Pops these days.
That's fair. I mean, same. I remember when they first showed up and I was like, oh, I'm not going down that road. And so at the beginning, I only had a handful and they were always gifts. Other people would give them to me. And I was like, great, these are gifts. And then, as they continued to dig in and release stuff, I was like, well, that I need. And usually it was Batman movie related. Like you said, like when they did the line of Batman 89, Returns Forever, Batman and Robin, I was like, well, of course, I got to get those. And then they did the entire anniversary line for Batman 89. So like I had to get the one of like Batman in the Batcave. I got the one of Batman punching Joker on the cathedral. I got the great Batman Begins one of Batman and Gordon in front of the bat signal that lights up. Like some of those I just couldn't resist. So as far as Funko Pops go, I still think my collection is relatively small compared to many other people.
Yeah.
But I did end up still, diving in as they release stuff that I just couldn't say no to. I respect what you've done, Brendan, which is like, okay, I've got the action figure. Henry gets the Funko. I haven't brought myself to do that yet. So I still had both out before I packed up my old house. In the new house, I probably am not going to have as much space, so I will pick and choose. And of course, I'll pick the action figures. But yeah, the Funko Pops are fun, and I do have quite a bit of them. Like, I got the Hall of Justice that came with like a Super Friends Batman, like because it was just so fun, right? And then there was like a Wayne Manor that came with Alfred. So, quite a bit of stuff like that. But
I've got a couple more. Like I've still got the 66 Joker down there on my little 66 shelf, and there's a small little smattering, but yeah, like I said, not nearly as much as they used to be.
Yeah, and again, like I pick and choose, and to your point, like not so much anymore. I still look at them and go, "Oh, that's fun," but it's easier to say no. But yeah, I'll tell you what I do have, and I think I've shared that, is when they did the mini pops. And then they released like a bat symbol holding, not a holding case, but it was like a.
Oh, yeah, I know the thing you mean. Yep.
Yeah, it's like a bat symbol mini shelf. Where you put all the mini pops like that. I was like, oh, well, that's so cool. And so I have that as well with a bunch of the mini pops in it. All Batman themed, because I cannot let a non-Batman mini pop be on there. That would not be okay. So yeah, they still get me from time to time, depending on what they release. But again, I pick and choose, and I do know that like Pops, I think it was Eric who told us that when you go to Goodwill now, I don't know if you have Goodwill in Australia, Brendan.
But like secondhand shops. So we've got a few different ones. Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to Goodwill, I guess they won't even take your Funko Pops anymore because they're just everywhere. Yeah, so. So yep, I got a bunch of them. I think they're really fun, but yeah, it's easier to resist than these days.
Yeah. I did get the full line of, actually I pre-ordered them too. Last year I got I know it's not DC, but I got the full line of the real Ghostbusters because I was just like, they're pretty cool. And I still have some money from my Santa gig, so I'm going to order myself those.
Well, like I got last Halloween, they released a little tiny Dracula's castle with a mini pop of Dracula. And I was like, and it was like $8. And I was like, well, yeah, I want that. I've
got all the Michael Myers ones now that you mentioned Halloween.
Yeah. So, so of course, like, you know, we're nerds. Of course we fell into the pop fad, but, yeah, I don't know. Maybe when baby Andy gets a little older, I'll give some to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, that's it. That's all we got for emails. We're closing the Wayne Manor mailbox. If you've got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, we're back. So you can send those to Holy BatCast at rf4rm.com. It'll probably be 2 weeks before we're back again because Catherine's about to travel and then I'm probably traveling and, but the official hiatus is over. My podcasting equipment is at least unpacked and set up so we can do this when scheduling allows. And then, who knows what it's going to be like once the baby comes, Brendan. Jeez.
Yeah, look, it'll either be because I'm having 6 weeks off work. So it'll either be I'll have a heap of spare time because with Henry being at school, like our days are going to be, if we're not sleeping, like baby's gonna baby, like she'll be asleep and things like that. Like, we'll probably still have that opportunity to like watch some movies and that sort of thing. So, chances are I'll probably have quite a bit of free time coming up to record during the day and during the week too, which it normally is out for me with the time difference. So,
oh, good. I hope that's true. So we can keep on rolling. Would love that. So, fingers crossed. We'll see how that goes. All right. Well, let's wrap this up for now, Brendan. It was a blast. Thanks for coming back. Glad we could make it happen. Happy birthday. What better way to celebrate your birthday eve?
Oh, mate. That's why I said I'd do it today. I was like, look, it's my birthday weekend, but what better way to kill a couple of hours than hanging out with you talking about pretend shit? So,
you know what? We do what we got to do. We got to cling on to stuff like this that brings us joy. It's important.
You do, particularly in the world today. Jesus.
Yeah. Tell everybody where they can find you these days.
On Facebook in the Real Fans groups and on Letterboxd.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I already told you guys where to find me. Same as always. But if you're listening to this, it's end of January, beginning of February, which means over on the main Real Fans for Real Movies page, it is time for our end of year chat about the movies of 2025. The worst of 2025 is already out there. If you haven't checked that out, please do. And then the best of 2025 will be coming really close to when this releases. I haven't figured out which day for both, but so if you enjoy our looks back at the year in the past, you can check out our best and worst of 2025 over there. That would be cool. But that'll do it. Thanks as always for joining us. Please do follow or subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. If you like the show, something else you can do, doesn't cost a penny and it would be really helpful. Just leave us a review. A nice review goes a long way, makes me feel good, and it helps more people find us. It only takes a second. That would be awesome. Again, find the show on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for Holy BatCast. And if you've got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, we love hearing from y'all. You can send that to holybatcast@rf4rm.com. Our theme music was created by the talented Gaurav Venkateswar. You can find his work at gvtunes.com. And that will do it. Thanks for joining us. On behalf of Brendan, I've been Andy. We'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Holy BatCast is not affiliated with Warner Brothers or DC Entertainment. The views and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for. And done just in time to go pick up the kids. Look at that. Cool. Boom.